business owner is one of the hardest and most fulfilling jobs anywhere. For over a decade, I have owned and operated a retail music store, the one job that uses just about everything I have ever learned. While some of this knowledge came from a classroom, I have no business degree or management certification. Over the years, I've developed philosophies and strategies that have allowed me to assemble and manage a team of more than 2 dozen people and grow my business into a regional powerhouse. There have been big wins and bad beats, but every day there is a new lesson. I'm Drew Holmes, and this is my Playbook. Well, greetings and welcome to another one of our Playbook videos. This is the series in which I explore things that have worked and that haven't worked with my business as we try to grow and expand and better serve our customers. Well, the topic I wanted to talk about today was store layout, merchandising, how you present the product to the people that you're trying to sell to. And a lot of the ideas that I got came from this book here, Why We Buy by Paco Underhill. And I read an older version of this book, but I would urge you to read it. And it was focused mostly on in-person brick and mortar. I know the later versions of it are talking about online retail and things like that. Well, when we moved the store back in 2010 into our new space, I incorporated a lot of the ideas that I found in this book into how I laid out the design of the store and merchandised the product and really tried to make it a more inviting experience for the customers. I did a quick little clip giving a tour of the sales floor and exploring why the decisions I made are the ones that I made. So check out that video here, and then we'll talk a little bit about it afterwards.
On the topic of store design, this is something that's near and dear to my heart, and we are here in front of my store, Boomer Music Company in Fort Collins, Colorado, and I wanted to walk you through the thought process of the choices that I've made with how I've designed the store and why things are the way that they are. So come on with me, I'll give you a tour of the store. So I'm going handheld with this video, so please excuse if it's a little bit shaky, but the outside you can see we've got tenants upstairs, so we put graphics in the windows as signage to try to direct people where to go, as well as the floor mat that keeps the floor clean, but it also helps people to know which door to come in. We've got the floor mat inside as well to let people know they're in the right place. Now, when you walk into a store, you'll notice this now that I've said it, your natural inclination is to go to the right. That's just where your body wants to pull. Well, there's not a whole lot of room here. That's just one of the things that we have as something we just have to overcome with the layout of the store. So I've put this display cabinet, otherwise known as glass coffins, because that's where inventory goes to die, retail joke, there to kind of keep people from going there, even though there's a door to the stairwell upstairs. Well, the other thing that I do to keep people from doing that is we added this solid surface floor, which acts as a runway. When people go into a store, they want to keep moving, and if they can't go to the right, they're going to go forward. And so we kind of do this to give them a reason to kind of keep moving forward and slowing down. Well, when you get to the end of the runway, then you've reached the point of sale, which is pretty much in the dead center of the store. The other thing you'll notice about it is it's octagonal in shape. That soffit at the top doesn't serve any particular purpose other than visual, and then you've got the two registers in the middle. Octagonal is on purpose because what is an octagonal shape in our society? Stop signs. So it's signaling you subconsciously to come to the middle of the store and to stop. Then we get into the other areas. We've got guitar strings and things like that, small goods. Those are out so that people can browse them and see them. But it's still within view of the point of sale, so that way we can monitor the inventory and make sure that it doesn't grow legs. As we continue along here, and please excuse the mess, we're doing a lot of repairs for universities and such, we get over to the woodwind area. Now we have our products segregated by product type, and that's on purpose. When someone's coming over here looking for a box of reeds, and the reeds are behind the counter, and again, that's on purpose because we want to help people with that. It's a fairly complicated product, and we want to make sure they're getting the right thing. But then, when the sousaphones aren't in the way, they're looking at new instruments. They're looking at clarinets down here and flutes, and they're looking at saxophones up here on the wall. And that's also over here on this side when they're looking at mouthpieces. Again, we want them looking at new instruments and things like that as well. Then we also come over right near here, there's other accessories like straps and cleaners and reed cases. So all the woodwind stuff is segregated in one area. Another example of how we do that is back here in the brass area. And we're walking through all the sheet music, and I'll talk about that in a second. So we also have, this is the door to our repair shop. And so when people are here getting their instruments repaired, and brass instruments are notorious for that, I want them looking at shiny new trumpets and trombones and such. So those are up on the wall. Those are step-up instruments, pro-level stuff. But then down here as well, we've got all the mutes. Now, trumpet players are going to need mutes eventually, so we want to have that conversation with them so that they know. And then over here, we've got small goods like mouthpieces and such. And then back in those toolboxes, I'll just go back and show you, we've also got more mouthpieces. So we've got like trumpet mouthpieces, they're in there, uh, lubricants, cleaning supplies, all that kind of stuff. Again, we want people coming in and asking us questions about that so we can help them get the right stuff. And that leads into the string area. So we've got cellos and violas and violins back here. Again, in the display case, we've got the rosins and such. But if someone's coming in looking for strings, we've got those back down here, as well as some rosins. What else? Shoulder rest parts, tools, end pin tips, all the small stuff that you don't need that often, we kind of keep away so that folks are having a conversation with us. This was really garbage display space back here. That's a mechanical closet which has the heating system and all that. So we custom built these bow holders, so now we've got nice bows set up in a space that we really couldn't display anything on. Similar with these violins. We built these shelves so that we could hang the violins up here, and then they're on display, but they're out of the way. And then over here we've got string accessories like shoulder rests and stuff like that. So we're segregating the products by type, so that way when someone comes in looking for something, they're looking at all kinds of related items as well. And that carries through here to the percussion. So we've got drum sets and sticks and heads and mallets. All of that is in the same area, because if someone's coming in looking for one thing, they're going to be looking for others. Oh, cymbals as well, of course. Now, the sheet music. Well, this store started almost 50 years ago, specifically as a sheet music store. So we've continued that because we have a reputation for having, a great selection of sheet music. So up here, sorry, I keep whipping around. That's a lot of the drum stuff because it's near the drum area. And then back here is just a lot of general stuff, vocal and things like that. But this is where the killer app comes in. Back here by the mural is where the method books are. It's similar to a grocery store putting the milk in the back of the store because people are coming in looking for these and they have to walk through all the other stuff to get there. And the mural, yes, this could be display space, but that's a mural of Horsetooth Mountain, which is here in town. When we had the blank wall, I was looking at it and saying, if the wall wasn't here, what could we see? And this is facing west, and that's what you would see is the mountain. So we kind of added that local flavor and artwork to it, so that way it kind of evokes the town that we're in. And then from a security but also customer service standpoint, we've got a couple of things going on here. This is the sheet music office. It's as well a staging area for all of our road service. So there's always someone there that can assist people when they get this far into the store because they're at the back of the sales floor. Or, as we mentioned before, when they first come in, they stop at the main register, which is here at the point of sale. This maintains our contact with the customers, but also maintains line of sight to the product to make sure it doesn't, like I said, grow legs. We don't really have a huge problem with that sort of thing, but I don't want one either. And then the final vestiges of that, because there are still angles that you can't see and people that you wouldn't realize are there, is up here in what we call the manager's office. This is the office where the store general manager and I work out of. So from these three locations, we can monitor the entirety of the sales floor, make sure that we're assisting our customers, and also make sure that no one is abusing the inventory or doing anything that they're not supposed to.
So as you can see, we try to group all the inventory by product type. Therefore, when someone's coming in looking at one thing, they're going to see the other stuff, as well as just the general layout of the store. We want to be as inviting as possible to bring people in to have conversations with them so that we can assess what their needs are, to figure out what the product is that we have that's going to meet their needs. I always tell people I love the kind of retail that we do because it's so niche. We're a destination store. So the customers pre-qualify themselves when they come in, meaning they have a vague idea of what they need. They have a vague idea that we provide it, and that if they come in, we're going to be able to meet that need. That is a huge advantage over like a department store, for example, where people are just going in to browse because they've got some time to kill. I mean, people will kill time in a music store, but they're usually looking to make music and they're excited about doing it. This isn't a required thing that they have to do necessarily for their life, so it's something that they really want to do and are inspired. So we try to use that to our advantage as we're trying to help them make buying decisions and meet those needs. So once again, I would urge you, check out the book Why We Buy by Paco Underhill. Incorporate some of those ideas that he has in that, because he gets into the psychology of why we buy. And I've just, for example, showed you here how I've incorporated that into store layout and merchandising and setting up the product. So that's our playbook video. Thank you so much for watching. Throw some comments down. Let me know what you think. Other questions that you might have or ideas that you want to share. Please like the videos, share them, subscribe to the channel, and we will catch up with you next time. Thank you for watching my playbook. If you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other channels and content, for there is always a lesson to be learned. If you have a comment or suggestion for future content, please leave it below, and I will do my best to accommodate. I'm Drew Holmes, and this has been my playbook.